Isn't exactly like looking like some others.
No, I mean, yeah, it's no fun, you know, to be able to, because you can't appreciate what that's like. You know, we've been on that end a bunch of years ago where you can't get anything done in the game, and it's not a happy place to be, and you're frustrated, and your kids get frustrated, and things that came easy yesterday or earlier in the week, all of a sudden are not easy anymore. And when you're playing a team like ours, and we're playing well, and we've done that to really good teams for long stretches. So Jamel has a really good team. No disrespect to Jose, but they could have had co-coach of the year, and she would have deserved it. You know, to take her team from where they were into, you know, the semifinals. When she took the job, they were last in the league, and I think she's done a phenomenal job there, and I'm sure they'll be involved in postseason play. I'm happy for her in that respect.
Is it both a combination of you guys playing really well, and then once somebody gets down like that, they just kind of press and press and press?
Once you miss that many shots, you know, you don't think any shot is going to go in, and you stop shooting the ball with any confidence. And I've seen that happen. And our kids are, you know, we're trying to prepare for tomorrow night. We're trying to prepare for the next tournament. So we're just playing. So when we get a great effort from everybody out there, you know, we're a hard team to play against, regardless whether you're, you know, in our league or you're not in our league. And I'm proud of the fact that we show up every night and we play. We don't care who we're playing against, and we don't care where the game is being played. That's how you win as many games. You know, you get really good players like we have, and you try to make them do stuff that it's not easy to do. For everybody out there that thinks, well, you just have the best players, I like that. Keep thinking that.
You make it sound simple, but it's not simple, is it?
What's that?
Oh, well, you just make them do stuff they don't want to do.
No, I mean, it's not easy to make people do stuff they don't want to do. No. You know, you read stuff where people say, yeah, it must be tough coaching all those high school All-Americans. Yeah. Ask a bunch of coaches around the country that coach high school Americans and can't. Right? You think it's easy, though? You know, no. I'm fortunate, one, that we get a lot of really good players to come here. So I'm way ahead of the curve when it comes to who I'm coaching relative to some other programs. But if anybody thinks that to get that many good players to come in and all give up something every day, and think that, yeah, that's a walk in the park. And I know, well, I wish I had his problems. Yeah, well, be careful what you wish for.
I know you recruit that way, and you recruit unselfish players.
Right.
But today you're up to now 4 players this season with 100 assists, and Kia, who's up for point guard here, is the one that isn't there yet. But sure should be there.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's crazy, right? She don't even play that position for us.
So you can do that for all those awards.
Yeah.
I just spelled Jordan Canada's name wrong on the release, but
Who did?
They didn't have her on there.
She's not on. Yeah, that's right.
You know, just run me how much you appreciate how these kids have embraced that part of your game, and how
I asked, you know, I said this up there. I asked at one point. I asked because, you know, it's funny. Somebody said that. One of the writers that covers our team, I won't say who, told me, I used to cover football, I used to cover basketball, I used to cover a lot of different sports. I've never gotten as many emails as I get about any team as I get from your fans complaining about what you're not doing, who's not playing, this, that, the other thing. And I just laughed. And I said, yeah, because if you're not at our practices, if you don't see what goes on every day, you have no idea how hard these guys work, how unselfish they are, how they're willing to come to practice every day and go harder than they did the day before and get better than they were the day before, you know? And that's one thing you try to impress upon all the kids that you recruit when they get to Connecticut, and that they better embrace the fact that, you know, whatever it was that was happening with you when you were in high school, that's not happening here. It might, but that's no guarantee that it's going to, you know? And I think that, you know, today's young players would be well advised to pay attention to what some of these older players have done that have come here, where they've sacrificed their points, their rebounds, to win championships. You know, because it's not something that every kid would do. You know, not every kid is coming out of high school dying to go, hey, you know, I'm used to taking 25 shots a night in high school, but I'm looking for a place where I only can take 15 because so many other good players are on the team. Yeah, good luck selling that one, right? So to get kids like that, you know, to get, you know, somebody like Crystal or somebody like Kia to come in and say, you know, like I give you an idea, a good example about Crystal. We were running something earlier in the year. I said, Crystal, run this. And we ran it, and we got like a wide open layup or a wide open shot. And there was a dead ball or timeout. I said, Crystal, we're going to run that for the rest of the game until they figure out how to run that. Now, it didn't involve her getting any shots. And she's like, got it. There was no like pouting, walking away, going, when do I get mine? So, you know, when you have kids like that on your team, yeah, it's easy to coach guys like that.
Well, with Fisa, I mean, not only, you know, did you have to convince her to pass when she never had to before? It's one thing to just pass the ball, she could just throw it out of bounds, but, you know, if you look at assist to turnover, she passes well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know, if you're going to play here, I don't care who we're playing against. It doesn't matter. If you're going to play here, and I don't care what position you play, the worst thing that can happen is you come here and you don't want to be a good passer. Because the worst thing that could happen is a really good player on our team standing there wide open, and you don't pass them the ball, or you can't get them the ball, or you throw a lousy pass to them. Because then what's the point of having all these good players if you got a bunch of guys that can't pass? So then you become a selfish team. So yeah, we spend a lot of time, number one, trying to identify who wants to be a good passer. And then when they get here, we try to spend a lot of time with, hey, you need to be a good passer if you want to play here, if you want to be successful here. I mean, what greater compliment can somebody give a player than saying, you know what, that kid's a great teammate. That kid's a great teammate. What better compliment can you receive as a player? Oh, that guy's a great player. So what? How many great players there are out there that don't accomplish anything? When you leave a team and they say, that guy's a great teammate, she's a great teammate, that to me is the best compliment. How do you become a great teammate? You do the things that like other people don't want to do. Yeah, I got a good shot, but I'm going to pass this so that we get a great shot. Yeah, I'm a good three-point shooter, but there's Lou wide open. She's a great three-point shooter. So to be able to do that, I think that's the hard part. That's what makes teams, that's what puts teams in contention to win games all the time. And we have really good players. Let's never forget that. We have really good players. At least 5 or 6 of them anyway.
I know Jamel's not going to make the NCAA, but Jen Rosati is. And Quinnipiac.
Well, Jen will be, I mean, Jamel will be in some tournament. Yeah, I'm sure she'll be in the NIT, right?
And Quinnipiac's back in, after, you know, which can't be an easy thing to go back in that league and everyone's shooting for them. You know, can you run me through what that means to have another Connecticut team in again, and also have your former player going back in a second shot?
Somebody made the comment about that in our locker room. Maybe somebody, when we were walking out, they said, Quinnipiac won. They beat Marist, and GW won. we got tonight and we got tomorrow night. And I thought, yeah, you know, that's pretty cool that Jennifer's in the NCAA tournament, and they weren't the #1 seed. It was, you know, what was it, 5 versus 6 or something like that?
5 or 6, right.
5, 6. You know, and for her to go there and in 2 years, you know, it's not easy to do. She replaced a pretty good coach. And for Trish, she's got it rolling. I mean, they are who they are now. You know, they've kind of put themselves in a place where when kids go there, it's not like, you know, wow, do you think this team will, this league will get 1 bid, 2 bids? I don't know how many bids they're going to get, but Quinnipiac's going to be one of them. So once you put yourself at that level, it's hard to do, but she's done it, and that to me, it's pretty cool. I'm proud of them.
Quinnipiac could come to Gamble.
Yeah, I hope they don't. I hope they don't come to Gamble. I mean, part of the NCAA tournament is travel. Now, I don't think they should go to California or wherever the hell they went last year.
Miami.
Well, Miami.
Oh, Miami.
Yeah,
Like,
can we go there?
yeah, I was going to say, I think if you asked their kids, would you rather play, you know, in Connecticut, or would you rather go someplace on a plane and play somebody that doesn't know anything about you? Then, you know, I think that's part of the NCAA tournament. You know, you want to be able to go places and see things and expose your team to other areas. So I hope they don't. I hope they don't come up to Connecticut.
Gabby, just a precautionary thing today. I mean, will she likely play tomorrow?
I mean, if you asked her, she would want to play. She wanted to play today, and if she played today, she might not be able to play tomorrow. So tomorrow, we'll see at shoot-around, because after tomorrow we've got 10 or 11 days. So tomorrow's circumstances are a little bit different than tonight's were. But if she can't go tomorrow because she doesn't feel comfortable, or Janelle, our athletic trainer, doesn't feel comfortable, then she's not going to go. We'll decide that tomorrow at shoot-around.
Earlier this season, she said that her hip was bothering her. She
Yeah.
kind of kept it to herself.
Yeah.
Is she getting better at letting them know really what's wrong with her?
Well, she had no choice yesterday,
Yeah.
you know, but as I said, some kids don't, and probably because you've had injuries in the past, like Gabby's had, you don't want to, you don't even want to acknowledge it, and you don't want to be in the training room because you don't want anybody telling you can't play, because you've already experienced that in your career. So, yeah, it's a fine line, but it has been bothering her, and it has gotten better. Excuse me, and she has managed it great. Yesterday was just a little tweak, and it's not worse. It didn't make it worse, it just made it sore.
Remember you saying early in the season that you needed Petuli to see her without her knee brace.
Yeah.
For her to get to where she needs to get.
Yeah.
How difficult of a process was that?
A lot. It was very difficult. You know, she's got a lot of energy. That's her game. You know, she's active. She's active. She does things. She's just so anxious now to do something great that it's like a little bit ahead of herself. So, you know, she's missed a lot of time, but hopefully she's a little more comfortable every time we put her in, and we'll see what happens.
I know you were talking about Azure progress
Yeah.
in the press conference. What, you know, how much has she really made this year?
Well, for somebody like Z, you know, the idea of every single time you step out on the floor, there's an expectation level that you have to be great. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't like that at Duke where she was, but I think here she looks around and she sees and says, I'm expected to play at that level. And that's not easy to come to grips with. So last year she killed us in practice because it was so easy, you know. And now this year, when there's so much more focus and so much more attention, and people are being a lot more scrutiny. There's a lot more scrutiny on what she's doing because we're trying to make her bigger. I mean, we're trying to make her better and better and better at both ends of the floor. I said to her today, I said, you know, you've played the least amount of minutes of any of our, all of our players in the top 6. And you've committed more fouls, I think, than all of them. So how's that possible? And a lot of it just has to do with your awareness has to get better. You know, when we tell you put your hands up, There's a reason we do that, because you're not going to push somebody. You're not going to whack somebody. You don't have to do any of that. You know, when we're trying to get you to be aware and move your feet and stay in your stance, it's not because we're trying to, you know, be, wow, coach is really hard on me. Nah, I want you to stay in the game. I don't want you to sit next to me on the bench. You know, so today she committed no fouls. Now, obviously, the people she was playing against were not at her level, but still, she's been known to foul people in warm-ups. So,
but
making progress.
Realistically,
making progress. Absolutely,
she's rotating a lot better.
Absolutely,
than
absolutely. She's
There was
making
some
progress.
really nice
Like the one thing she couldn't do at the beginning, like she couldn't guard here, and when somebody drove over here, go over and block their shot. And I said, Z, like you should take that personally, that somebody thinks they can just dribble the ball in here and shoot a lead. I said, do you know how we used to play when we had Stewie? We would overplay everybody so much, and they still wouldn't go in the lane and only shoot threes. So people would say, how come you give up so many threes? Because people don't want to go in the lane against us. And when we had Stephanie and Kia. So there's this presence that you have to have in the lane. And until you start acting that way, people are going to just try to take advantage of it. They're going to go in the lane. Like the first play of the game today. They just throw the ball. Kid just turns around, boom, sticks a jump shot right in the face. What? So right away it was like, but, you know, it didn't happen again. So, yeah, ton of progress.
What happened with Crystal when you grabbed her right in front of the bench and you kind of had a laugh with her and grabbed her arms? Did she miss a steal? Or?
Yeah, because every day, you know, we're working on, like, they'll come over and we're denying something, you know, and they'll go there, they'll get a hand on it and go and knock it out of bounds. And they'll be like, yeah, and they'll turn around. I go, dude, it's still their ball. So they still get the inbound and win the game. How about when you knock it down, we steal it, and we go the other way? So naturally, she came out, knocked it down, and was all happy and everything. Went out of bounds, and I'm like, so yeah, just wanted to know I'm paying attention.